Ahoy Mateys. I am coming over from Nomadic Hippie, and I watched at least 45 minutes of Nomadic Hippie. And our beer's life. Welcome aboard. Hey, it's too cold, Grand Marais. Thank you. And by the way, Grand Marais, I really super appreciate your support of me, and it made me happier that you support Tina, and you know what I'm talking about. She is freaking awesome. She did call me a little while ago, and it was just hello, bye bye, blah blah. No big deal, but I felt honored that she called me. I'm just saying. All right. Oh my goodness. Frederick Heron from West Virginia is here. Linda Park is here. Oh, I mean, everybody that was at Nomadic Hippie is here. This is way sweet. And I'm going to continue. I am going to continue. I did not have an agenda, or, oh, I did have a couple of things I might mention. But I'm going to follow up where Rick left off. I mean, Nomadic Hippie left off. RVer's life. Yeah, you need hugs. Well, at least you're not asking for money or a pack of cigarettes or blah blah blah. Grand Marais, I wish she would call me. Yeah, we'll work on it, Grand Marais. She is very happy about how you support her or us. I don't know. I'm not going to go there tonight. I am going to continue. Britain Farm Homestead, welcome aboard. Oh my gosh, I got 11 people in the house already, and I'm not going to be able to keep up. And I'm only on here for a half an hour. But I want to continue with what Nomadic Hippie was talking about. You know, good, bad, blah, blah, blah. That's how he tried to portray it. Well, Timmy Ray the King, ahoy. Fantastic travels. Thank you. Thank you for coming aboard. Nomadic Hippie was at least trying to say that there are some people in his life, and it's not YouTubers. In my opinion, it's nobody here. Nobody that's on here. Shanna Craft, welcome aboard. Good to see you, my Mayberry neighbor. I hope you'll be our Mayberry neighbor next October as well, if not in between somewhere else. Good to see you here. Midwest Picker. Ahoy. Ahoy. You're supposed to be doing YouTube stuff for your eBay stuff. Welcome aboard, Dave. Glad you're here. Anyways, the bottom line, in my opinion, is what Rick was trying to say. Nomadic Hippie. He says, well, how do I differentiate between someone who really needs help or are they possibly a moocher? This is my opinion. Now, he didn't say moocher. He didn't say any of that. He didn't refer to YouTube. He didn't refer to much else, except for I have this feeling. Thank you, Midwest Picker. I'll try to watch it. It will probably be tomorrow because, as you know, it's 7 o'clock at night. And if I eat, bye. I'll watch your stuff tomorrow on Sunday. But anyways, back to Nomadic Hippie. He's successful. He has a few extra bucks than many of us. That's all right, Nomadic Hippie. I'm trying to continue on with where you left off. And please feel free to jump in here and say something. I would be honored. I would be honored. I know you're probably turning the ignition in that semi truck and pulling a load somewhere, but I'm honored that you are here. Anyways, yes, back to trying to help people. It's kind of difficult at many times to figure out, do they really need help? Or, I mean, I've had it where I helped them the first time. I will be honest with you. Uncle Lisa, welcome aboard. So glad to see you, Jim. I've been here going on 10 years, or actually 11 years. And there was a lady across the street with 2 little girls, and she lived with her mother, and they rented the house across the street. Well, then all of a sudden, okay, bad me. This young lady was extremely attractive. And I'll just say that somehow or another, I thought I should help. So she just mentioned off the top of her head that, oh, well, they're going to turn our electricity off. And I'm like, well, what happened? Well, da 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 da. She came on. Thank you, Frederick. I am blowing it out. Anyways, after a while, and after $1,500 later, and no, there was no sex involved. I'm just saying. So there's $1,500 out the window 10 years ago, 9 years ago. And I know I will never see a repayment of any sort, whether it's financial or otherwise. I do not drink bong water. Yeah, okay, I love weed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you stoners, glad you're here. Yes, Grand Marais, it was $1,500. And this is not the first time I've been burned. I've been burned many times before that. However, a little bit less. And it's taken me a long time to realize that, yes, moochers. And I don't know if Nomadic Hippie is still here, but he may agree with me, and many of you all may agree with me. Mateys, sometimes it seems like we're just suckers. All right, let me look here. Never think about it as being a burn because I usually give and I never expect it. In fact, yeah, I did that too, Rick. And I had a good feeling until the point when I was hurting myself. I like, oh my God, I'm praying for help. Well, the help certainly did not come from who I helped before. However, it was bread cast on the water, in my opinion. So sometimes when we help others who were kind of strangers, I guess perhaps that is what we should do. I want to give, I want to help, and I'm not trying to be particular as to who I help. Yeah, I'm kind of one of those guys that pulls down to the end of a freeway off ramp, and there's some guy with a sign, homeless, yada yada. Anything will help. Yeah, if I'm actually not getting the green light and I got a second, I'll give him my toll road change. It might only be, 75 cents to $2, whatever's laying in my tray, quarters. Yeah. Now, that being said, I actually know a person, they take shifts. Okay. They pretend to be homeless, and they actually have shifts, so usually about 4 to 6 hours. Moose will take a shift, and then Rick will take a shift. Not Rick, not Nomadic Hippie, but I know these people. My friend paid off $17,000 in 6 months by standing on a street corner pretending that he was homeless. And he has a little dog with him. Anything will help. And he was on a shift. He'd be on that corner for 6 hours or so, and then he'd go home and another person would take over on that same corner. Don't always think, I'm sorry, but please don't always think that the guy on the side of the road with a sign saying I'm homeless and blah blah blah, or I just lost my job, or please give me anything, God bless you. Yeah. Nomadic Hippie, I know you run into this all the time, and if you are still here, please chime in, because I have a problem with that. I want to help, and I realize that maybe I help, and maybe I'm just throwing money out the window where I should be helping myself. But on the other hand, because I have this thing where, well, it's bread cast in the water, or it's karma. If the guy really needs help, then he's going to get the help of my $2 or $3 of the change. But if he's kind of scamming, well, that'll come back on him too. And I'm sorry to say, I hope he's prepared, because when it comes back on him, it will come back like a ton of freaking bricks. That's my opinion. Our beer's life, hippie, you're driving in place. Are you stuck? Wheels spinning. Oh, nomadic hippie. It's a big deal when people pretend to be homeless and stuff. Yes, yes, Rick, I totally agree. We have it here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, period. And as said, I know a guy that made, $20,000 standing on the street side. And he already had Social Security and another job. So this guy is making twice, maybe 3 times the amount of money that I get from Social Security. And I get quite a chunk from Social Security. People are jealous of the amount that I get from Social Security. And I have to say that the reason I do get that amount from Social Security is I worked my ass off since I was 14 years old. Most of the time I had at least 2 jobs. And there were times in my life I had 3 jobs. And I've owned businesses, and I've done a lot. I paid a lot into Social Security before I was able to finally retire. And when I did, well, I got a little bit more than the average person from Social Security. Not bragging, because now here I am, tired. Can I pay my bills? Yeah, I can. That's fortunate. Thank you, Lord. Is it enough to capture my dreams? It's up to me to capture my dreams. And there's some things I probably need to change or embrace. I'm not talking about Dave Ramsey. My bills are paid. That's fine. But a little extra, no. If I want to buy a tow dolly to hook up behind Synchronicity, to either tow Serendipity behind me to Quartzsite, or God willing, maybe Tina's Journal of Journeys, maybe tow her van with me. That's in God's hands. It's in God's hands, in my opinion. And I think I've already told you all that before. Yes, Linda Barker, you're absolutely you're absolutely right. Grand Marais, I retired when I was 63. I spent 28 years at Spectrum Health. But in that meanwhile, I had other jobs as well. I owned a clothing store. I owned a restaurant. You name it. worked my ass off. And you've seen me in some videos that other people have taken, especially Tina. You'll probably notice that I don't have an ass. I'm still skinny. I don't know why she focuses on that. No, I'm just imagining it. Sorry, Grand Marie. I'm just being stupid. Oh, Uncle Lisa. Jen, by the way, I missed your birthday and belated happy birthday. In my mind, you are correct. I'm still in my 20s. I'm a horny old goat chasing the girls. And yeah, I kind of figured out, well, if I'm a pirate and go to different ports, I might have a girl in every different port. Well, I think that might be a myth. If I could just get this one girl, or if she can get me, whatever, I'll be totally happy. I'll be totally happy and blessed. Midwest Picker. No, I did not own a coin store. I owned a restaurant, and I also owned a clothing store. And by the way, I was very successful with the restaurant. Had it for 3 years. I mean, I invested like $1,500, and when I sold it, after making mucho bucks in between, I sold it for $15,000. So after 3 years, I mean, yeah, it was great. But then I went and took and invested, I don't know, $5,000. I think it was. Yeah, it was around $5,000. I bought a building down the street and opened a clothing store. It was just like Max 10. You know, there was nothing there that was over $10. And guess what? We bought our clothing, or whatever we were selling, wholesale, at the same wholesale warehouse that Max 10 bought their supply. So we were selling identical things, you know, in a small way. You know, we were like another Max 10, even though we weren't Max 10. We were Winkler's Clothing. Anyways, Uncle Lisa, you're correct. I didn't like clothes back then, but my wife said this is what we should do, and I thought it was great because it seemed like a whole lot less work than running a restaurant, and it was. But in the end result, owning and running a clothing store might be why I hate clothes. Because in that endeavor of owning a clothing store, I lost my shirt. I lost a lot. Had it not been for our other properties and other investments, I would have had to gone bankrupt. Needless to say, ancient history. But I did learn a lot. If I had to do it all over again, I was stuck with the restaurant. Just saying. Oh my gosh, this half hour's gone by so freaking quick. Oh. And I've got 20 people in the house, and I can't even believe it. I haven't been keeping up with the chat. Folks, I am so sorry. I've just been yakking along, thinking about what Nomadic Hippie was talking about, the good, the bad. And I guess I will say, before we part our ways, when someone needs help, help them. If whatever, in which way you can, whether it's monetary or philosophically or whatever it may be. But then next week, this is journey. Yep. Next week they go, oh, my electric bill, it's gonna be turned off, or my lot rental at the trailer park. Well, why is that? What happened? Well, let's put it this way. And I'm going to be freaking blunt. God love everyone. But if you put your vices before paying your lot rent or paying your mortgage or providing food for your kids, if you put any of those behind your vices, as in, well, it's 420 or it's whatever. I have a vice, and you all know it. I normally drink Miller Lite, but I'm being cheap. And yes, I smoke cigars, but I'm not in debt for it. And my taxes are paid. Now, there are times when I struggle, like, oh gosh, I got this little bit higher electric bill, or my budget went a little bit sideways. I got to figure this out because I decided I was going to do something else with the budget money. My bad. But I'm not going to sit there and ask you, hello, I'm $50 short this week. Can you help me out? No, you will never hear that from me. Ever. Ever. My parents would roll over in their graves if I ever said, I need $50 or I need, whatever. And if they were alive, well, I wouldn't be making this video because I'd be in the hospital with a broken ass. That's how I was raised, and that's how it is. All right, we are at 7:28. Thank you, Grand Marais. Thank you. I will try to make sure that Tina's here to share the Miller Lite. And I think you and I would both enjoy that. Maybe she'll go live. Look what Grand Marais and Captain Jack gave me. Wouldn't that be funny? All right. That's 7:29 now. Scott, I know you're a Blue Wrench. RV on the Wayside is right after me. Would someone please post their link, and we will do a Captain Jack raid on RV on the Wayside. And thank you, folks. Thank you, mateys, for coming aboard. Fair winds and smiles. And may God bless. And don't take any wooden nickels. Just saying. See ya. All right.